What is up, guys? So we're back in another video. If you don't know me, my name is Herman Jackson. I've been in the industry for about 3 years selling pre-owned cars. I've get to know a lot of customer situations and everything. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the exact way on how to buy a car through Suncoast Credit Union. If you're a member, or if you're considering on applying for a auto loan through Suncoast Credit Unions, you're probably in the right way, because Suncoast Credit Union is one of the best way to finance a pre-owned car here in the Central Florida area, Hillsborough, and the surrounding areas. The process is actually very simple. I know the process because I've sold a lot of cars through Suncoast Credit Unions. Every single time the customer gets a really good deal, and not only on the car but also on the financing part of things, because they get a pretty long term. I think they do up to 72 months, and a very low interest rate for a used car. They're always around 2-3%, and they're also pretty good for first time buyers. I've sold a couple of trucks to first-time buyers through Suncoast, so that's something that I also recommend. So the process is actually very simple, and the way I'm gonna explain the process is gonna be the smooth way for you, and the way I recommend the customers to do it, and it's probably gonna be the best way for you. So you gotta start. Most of the customers, they usually have an idea on what kind of car they want. So let's say that you're looking for a Jeep Grand Cherokee, for example. So you have an idea on the prices, that you see on the market. So you gotta know an estimated amount that you're gonna ask the Suncoast Credit Union for. Okay, so I want them to lend me $20,000, up to $20,000. So you go into a branch, or you can even do this online. It's actually very, very simple to submit the application, whatever you're more comfortable with. If you have someone that you work with at your local branch, they'll probably help you out even better. Or if you prefer, if you don't have time to go into the branch and you prefer to do it from your computer, that's the way to go. Either or, it's a good way to do it. So you have to submit the application with all your personal information, which most of the personal information, if you're already a member, they're gonna have it. That's the reason why you want to go through Suncoast Credit Union, because they know you. You're not just someone applying for a auto loan. You're a member. They know you. They know your finances. They know where you work at. They know how much you get paid every single month. So that's the reason why most of the time they're able to give you better interest rate and financing term than any other bank that you don't do business with. So you go ahead and submit the application. They're gonna ask you if you know the year, make, and model of the car. That's not necessary though, but what I recommend is for you to know the amount that you're gonna be asking for, so they know what they're working with. So for example, you're asking $20,000. Let's say that you go through the whole application process and they give you the green light for $20,000. So there's a few documents that you have to sign, legal documents that you have to sign for them. And then they're gonna issue what is called a draft. Excuse me. Basically, what a draft is, it's a pre-approval that will give you the ability to go into a dealership and show them that you've been approved or pre-approved through Suncoast Credit Union for that specific amount, and you can buy a car. That's pretty much, it's not a check, but it's like a pre-approval letter for the dealership, so they can do the whole process and let you go home with the car. The draft will have all the instructions that you need to submit, that the dealer needs to submit to the Suncoast Credit Union, and also gonna have your name or whoever the signer is and the co-signer, and the maximum amount allowed on the loan. So let's say, we're talking about the $20,000. So you gotta make sure that the car that you're buying, it's no higher than that amount, because if the dealership sends a deal for $21,000, they're gonna reject it right away, because your loan amount is up to $20,000. So the out the door price has to be $20,000 or less. If it's more, if it's $21,000, you gotta do $1,000 down payment in order to bring the amount finance to $20,000. Pretty basic. So you got the draft. You have, I believe, you either have like a month. I think that the draft is good for. So you have some time that you can search around, shop around. Go see a few cars that you're interested on. So my best recommendation, so you don't waste your time, is go on these platforms such as cargurus.com, cars.com, AutoTrader. My favorite is cargurus.com because they show you a lot on the car. Accidents, owners, if the car has a clean title, if it's got frame damage, all this is free for the customer. Also shows you the reviews on the dealership. How good of a deal the car is. It's got a lot of information. So it's a website consumer driven, market driven. So it's pretty solid. That's what I recommend. Cargurus.com. So you can go there. So you can do the search. So let's say we're doing the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So you put the brand, the make, Jeep Grand Cherokee. If you want to stay within a certain years, you can filter that by years, and it's gonna pull up every single one available. Initially within 50 miles radius. You can expand the radius if you want. 100 miles, 200 miles. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of Grand Cherokee. If you're looking for a specific, option color, you can do that all down on the website. It's pretty easy to do. So let's say that you find one that you're very interested on, right? So you contact the dealership. You can I recommend calling the dealership before going there, because I've seen that some dealerships don't keep a very accurate inventory. Like, they don't keep the inventory updated. So sometimes they call, or they even show up. They drive an hour, 2 hours. Oh, they already sold the car. Boomer, I wasted my time. I wasted gas. So I recommend calling the dealership first, verifying that the car is still available, and you can verify all the options and prices before you go to the dealership, so you don't run into any sort of prices, right? So you go, and I recommend not telling the dealership that you got a credit union pre-approval, because some might even try to take advantage of you. And some others won't even want to deal with you. Like these franchise dealerships. I've heard a lot of credit union customers like trying to buy a car through Suncoast Credit Union, and they still try to run their credit like so many times. I'm telling them like, oh, I can get you a better deal on the interest rate. That's bullshit. That's a lie. Go with your credit union. If you got the draft through your credit union, don't mess with any other applications. Don't do it. Don't give them your social. Don't give them, any information. All they need is your driver license, the draft, insurance, and you're on your way home. That's it. So don't mess with any other applications at that point. So go into the dealership that they have the car that you're interested on. Test drive the car, make sure it runs good and everything. Find out, pull up the Carfax if they have it and all that. So if that's a car that you want, you tell the salesman, okay, let's make a deal. Let's sit down. So get the out the door price first. And he's gonna give you, or they're gonna give you an amount, and most likely they're gonna ask, how do you plan on buying the car? So at that point, you can tell, well, I already got a pre-approval through Suncoast Credit Union, I just want to make sure I buy at the right price. Most of these dealerships don't have the vehicle well priced because they're internet dealerships. They get a lot of customers, online buyers, so they already know the car is a good deal. But just make sure they're not trying to go at any other like hidden fees. I've heard a lot of dealers, they try to charge like $1,000 dealer fee, which is insane. They also try to do like a reconditioning fee, which is insane. So just watch out for this kind of like hidden fees. Most dealerships will have a dealer fee, which is normal. Just make sure that the dealer fee is not, like I say, it's not like $1,000, $800. Because the dealership has to make money somehow, so it's pretty standard. It's a business. So just double check that all the numbers, they make sense. Taxes, tag, registration, dealer fee, whatever. They might even try to offer you an extended warranty. That's up to you, depending on what kind of car you're buying. So, and you can, based on that, you can negotiate. Okay, so look, I really want to be at this number at the door. Is that something you can do? Then you go into the negotiating part, on negotiating the out the door price and all that. See if they can give you something or whatever. It's up to you if if you're okay with the price or negotiate whatever you want to do. So after that, just be careful because some of the credit unions, especially Suncoast, I think they changed their program recently. Last time I spoke with one of the representatives, they had a 10-year, so they wouldn't finance vehicles older than 2008. We are in 2018 right now, so they wouldn't finance any vehicle older than 10 years old. And they all had to be under 100,000 miles. But recently, I actually sold two trucks 2006. So those are 12 years old. But the reason they did it is because they were still under 100,000 miles. So you gotta make sure, you gotta ask Suncoast Credit Union about the stipulations and requirements for the vehicle. Because remember, they're giving you a loan for a certain amount, but then you have to send the information for the car. If it doesn't meet their criteria, they're not gonna issue the loan. They're not gonna process the loan for you. So that's something you have to have very clear before you go and start shopping around. Make sure what's their criteria for the vehicle that they will finance you. So that's very important, Also, I've heard recently that they will actually finance vehicles over 100,000 miles. I don't know. I haven't sold a car yet over 100,000 miles through Suncoast Credit Union, but they told me that as long as it's 2008 or newer, they'll do any miles. But again, I haven't verified that. I haven't sold any vehicle like that. But that's something, again, that you can ask Suncoast Credit Union, and obviously they'll give you the up-to-date information, because these auto loan programs, they change every time depending on the market, depending on how the credit union is doing and all that. So they keep changing, updating the program, so you gotta stay up to date. Okay, so let's say that you both agree on the number, and then the next step is to fill out the draft that the bank give you. It has to be, filled out by hand. They're gonna ask the year, make, and model, miles, VIN number, and the total price. The out the door price. Remember, it doesn't have to be the full $20,000. It can be less if the car is cheaper, but you cannot go over that amount. And then they're just gonna ask basic information there on the draft that you're gonna have to fill out. The dealer will keep the original, and then ask for a copy for your records, and then the dealership will have to send in all the required documents in order to get funded. and then they will process the loan to you and everything, and you're ready to go. So again, Suncoast Credit Union, it's a great way of buying a pre-owned car because they have really good programs, really good low interest rates, and trust me, they're always gonna try to help you out and give you the best available. And most likely, if you're buying the car from a good dealership, they're even gonna give you a better deal because it's a no hassle buying process. Most of the customers, they're in and out in less than 30 minutes. As long as they like the car and everything, okay, let's get it done. I have the loan approved. That's the car I want. The price is good. Let's get it done. The process, it's so easy. So I really recommend it, and I really don't see anything negative about buying a pre-owned car through Suncoast Credit Union. If you have the opportunity of getting approved through Suncoast, or if you're a member, go ahead and do it. Don't let other people run your credit for no reason. If you already have a pre-approval loan, because that's the best thing that's gonna be available for you at the moment. As long as you like the car, as long as you like the price of the vehicle, just go ahead and do it. It's pretty simple. So that's what I have for you guys today. If you have any question, just let me know. I'm here to answer every single one of your questions. Again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I see a lot of people don't have experience. They get so much information when you're buying a car that they get lost and they just make stupid decisions. So it's all about making smart decisions for your future, and obviously make sure that you're buying a car that you're gonna be happy with, and also be able to pay off at the end of the day. So we'll see you guys next time, and we're out.